Welcome to our channel, USA Coin Spot. Watch before you sell. This Kennedy half dollar is extremely valuable. Top 1. Have you ever held a coin in your hand and wondered, could this simple piece of metal be worth a fortune? Well, buckle up, because today, we're diving into the world of American treasure you might already own, the 1985 Kennedy half dollar from the official US proof set. And let me tell you this, you're not just looking at a 50-cent piece. You could be staring at thousands, yes, thousands, of dollars in hidden value. Now, before you brush this off as just another old coin, let me stop you right there. The Kennedy half dollar isn't just any coin. It's a symbol of legacy, power, and rare American history. And the 1985 proof version? That's where things get really interesting. Let's set the scene. In 1985, the United States Mint released a special proof set, coins struck with sharp detail, frosted designs, and mirror-like backgrounds. These weren't made for circulation. These were made for collectors, and they were minted with absolute care in San Francisco. The 1985 Kennedy half dollar from that proof set features President John F. Kennedy in stunning clarity. The finish? Flawless. The detail? Razor sharp. And the rarity? That's where your wallet starts to sweat. See, not all proof coins are created equal. Some of them were kept in perfect condition. Others, not so much. And among those survivors, only a handful are graded at the highest levels. That's where the money is. Now here's the jaw-dropper. If your 1985 Kennedy half dollar proof coin is still sealed in its original government-issued case, untouched, and better yet, has been graded by experts as PR70 Deep Cameo, you're sitting on a hidden jackpot. Because collectors out there aren't just casually looking for these coins. They're hunting them down. And when the right coin meets the right buyer, the price goes from pocket change to pure gold. And guess what? Sales have already proven it. Not long ago, an absolutely perfect 1985 Kennedy half dollar proof coin didn't sell for 50 cents. It didn't sell for $100. It didn't even sell for $1,000. It sold for $2,700. And that's just the start. A flawless, top-graded, museum-quality specimen of this coin has reached a staggering $79,000. Let that sink in. From a coin most people overlook, to 79,000 actual US dollars. So, here's the big question. Have you checked your proof sets lately? Because somewhere out there, someone is holding onto a fortune, and they don't even know it. And it might just be you. Smash that like button if you're digging for treasure in your collection. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next jaw-dropping coin that could make you rich. And drop a comment below. What's the most valuable coin you've ever found? Don't sleep on your coins. The next time you open that drawer, that safe, that old family box, you might just find a Kennedy worth more than a car, more than a vacation, more than some people's yearly salary. And it all started in 1985. Top 2. Have you ever looked at a coin and thought, it's just 50 cents, what could it possibly be worth? What if I told you that a single coin, sitting quietly inside a 1990 US Mint proof set, could be worth not just a little something, but a whole lot of money? I'm talking thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars. This isn't a rumor. This is fact. And that coin? It's the 1990 Kennedy half dollar proof, a coin that looks like any ordinary piece of change. But when preserved in flawless condition, it becomes something far greater. A silent fortune in your drawer, in your closet, or sitting unnoticed in your family's old collectibles. Most people don't realize it, but the 1990 Kennedy half dollar from the official proof set was never meant for circulation. These coins were minted with intense precision at the San Francisco Mint. They have that deep mirror shine, those sharply frosted designs, and that crisp, dramatic contrast that only proof coins deliver. But here's where things get truly exciting. Not every proof coin is created equal. Some were handled, scratched, hazed, or damaged over time. But a few, a very few, were kept in perfect condition. And those rare survivors? They're where the big money lives. Let's break it down. The US Mint produced proof sets for collectors. But collectors don't just want any coin. They want perfection. And perfection has a price. The few 1990 Kennedy half dollars that have been professionally graded by top companies like PCGS or NGC and received the ultimate score, a PR70 deep cameo, are worth much more than anyone could ever imagine. These coins are flawless under magnification, perfectly struck, and preserved like time capsules. And when one of them shows up on the open market, it doesn't just sell, it explodes in value. There are collectors with deep pockets out there. They aren't looking for coins with scratches or minor flaws. They're chasing that one in a million coin. The absolute perfect one. And when they find it, the bidding war begins. One of these beauties has already sold for a jaw-dropping $2,700. But the story doesn't stop there. Because when lightning strikes, when the coin is absolutely pristine, when the grade is perfect, and the buyer is hungry, the value shoots even higher. Much higher. Another 1990 Kennedy half dollar from a proof set, in the rarest top-graded condition, has fetched an incredible $49,000. That's not a typo. That's not a myth. That's cold, hard cash, almost 50 grand, for one single half-dollar coin. A coin you might already have. Sitting. Waiting. Hidden in plain sight. That's the kind of thing that makes your heart race, your mind spin, and your hands reach for that old dusty box of proof sets you thought were worthless. Imagine discovering that your collection, or your parents' or grandparents', holds a coin that could pay for your car, your college tuition, or even a luxury vacation. All because you took the time to check. All because you knew what to look for. Most people pass over these coins every single day, never realizing what they're holding. But now you know. And knowledge, in this case, could lead directly to a big payday. So here's what you need to do next. Find your 1990 proof sets. Open them carefully. Examine the Kennedy half dollar inside. Look for that deep mirror shine. Check if it's still in perfect condition. No scratches. No spots. Just perfection. And if it looks perfect? Get it graded by a reputable company. Because only certified perfection brings certified value. This isn't a game, it's real money. There are people walking around right now with these coins in their homes and they have no idea. You could be holding a coin worth more than some people's annual salary and not even realize it. $2,700, $49,000, those are the kinds of numbers that change lives. That pay off debt. That fuel dreams. And it all starts with one coin, one overlooked Kennedy half dollar from 1990. Don't assume your coins are worthless. Don't let someone else discover the treasure that should have been yours. Start looking. Because the next time you pick up what looks like just another 50-cent piece, you might actually be holding a fortune. Top 3. There's a coin out there right now, quietly sitting inside a little plastic case, that most people wouldn't look twice at. A 50-cent piece from 1994, simple, common, maybe even boring to some. But here's the thing most people don't know / that small coin might just be holding a secret. And if you've got the right one, the perfect one, it could be worth more than your rent, your car, or even your annual income. This isn't a collector's myth. This is happening. It's real. And today, you're going to find out how that little coin, the 1994 Kennedy half dollar from the official US Mint proof set, could turn into a serious cash payout. Now let's get something straight. This isn't a coin you found in your change after grabbing a coffee. This is the proof version. That means it was made with extra care, sharp detail, a mirror-like background, and that iconic frosted design. Minted at the San Francisco Mint, the 1994 Kennedy proof half dollar wasn't meant for circulation. It was created especially for collectors. And that's where the magic starts. Here's what you might not know. Not all proof coins are created equal. Even though they're made for collectors, some proof coins suffer damage. Tiny scratches, smudges, haze, or environmental wear over time bring their value down. But a few, a very rare few, are flawless. Absolutely perfect. And those are the ones that collectors will pay insane money for. We're talking about coins graded PR70 Deep Cameo, the highest possible grade. That means it's perfect under magnification. Not a single blemish, not even a microscopic flaw. And when one of these perfect 1994 Kennedy half-dollar proofs goes to auction, that's when things get wild. Because collectors aren't just looking for coins, they're hunting for perfection. And when that perfection shows up, they throw down real money. We're not talking a couple $100. Not even 1,000. Coins like this have already sold for jaw-dropping amounts. Imagine this. Someone out there opened an old proof set from 1994, took out the Kennedy half-dollar, sent it in to be graded, and it came back PR70 deep cameo. The result? That tiny little coin sold for $2,700, and that's just the beginning. Another collector, with the same exact coin, but preserved in perfect, untouched, museum-level condition, cashed in for a truly unbelievable price. That 1994 Kennedy half-dollar, graded at the highest level and verified as flawless, sold for a staggering $69,000. Yes, $69,000. For a coin that looks just like the one you might already have sitting in a drawer somewhere. That's life-changing money. That's the kind of cash that could wipe out your credit card debt, buy you a brand new car, or even put a down payment on a house. And it all came from a 50-cent coin made in 1994. Now the only question is, do you have it? Is that hidden treasure already in your house? Maybe your grandparents left you a box of old coins. Maybe you bought a proof set years ago and forgot about it. Or maybe, just maybe, you've got a 1994 Kennedy half-dollar proof that's still sealed, still shiny, and still perfect. If you do, don't guess, get it graded. PCGS and NGC are two of the top grading companies in the world, and they can tell you if your coin is one of the elite. And if it is, well, you might want to sit down before checking the auction results. Too many people have coins like this and have no idea what they're worth. They sell them off cheap, not knowing they just gave away a small fortune. But now you know. Now you're ahead of the game. So go check your coin collection. Dig out those old proof sets. Look for the 1994 Kennedy half-dollar. Because if the coin in your hand has that perfect frosted finish, that deep mirror shine, and no visible flaws, you could be holding a coin worth somewhere between $2,700 and $69,000. And that, right there, is why you never overlook a 50-cent piece again. Top 4. There's something about old coins that sparks a mystery. A quiet little feeling that maybe, just maybe, that piece of metal you've had tucked away for years could be worth something far beyond what anyone expects. Now imagine this, a coin that most people toss aside without a second thought, a 50-cent piece from the 1970s, sitting in a drawer, untouched, forgotten. But here's the shocking part. That same coin, the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar from the US Mint proof set, has sold for tens of thousands of dollars. Yes, you heard that right. A single coin, struck nearly half a century ago, has turned regular collectors into lucky owners of small fortunes. And the crazy part? You might have one right now and not even know it. Let's rewind to 1974. The United States Mint released a proof set for collectors, specially made coins, not for circulation, but for presentation and investment. These proof coins were made at the San Francisco Mint using a unique minting process that creates razor-sharp details and a deeply mirrored surface. The Kennedy half-dollar in that set wasn't just a coin. It was a piece of art. A perfect tribute to a president, with iconic design and unmatched shine. But here's the thing, not all proof coins are equal. Some remained flawless, sealed in their original holders, never touched, never tarnished. Others? They suffered the hands of time, scratches, dust, fading. That's where the difference lies between pocket change and payday. The few coins that have remained in pristine, untouched condition, those with the highest possible grading of PR70 deep cameo, are extremely rare. So rare, in fact, that collectors are willing to spend unbelievable amounts just to get their hands on them. This is where things get very real, very fast. People think coin collecting is just a hobby. But for some, it's a gateway to thousands, even tens of thousands, of dollars. Because when a top-graded 1974 Kennedy half-dollar proof goes to auction, the prices get wild. These aren't small bids. These are major buyers in fierce competition, trying to grab the one perfect coin that completes their collection. Let's talk numbers, because this is the part that sends chills down your spine. A beautifully preserved 1974 Kennedy half-dollar proof coin, professionally graded and certified as PR70 Deep Cameo, has sold for an incredible $2,700. Not bad for a coin that originally came in a proof set worth only a few bucks, right? But hold on, it gets crazier. Another example of the same coin, flawless condition, untouched, sealed and graded to perfection, reached a jaw-dropping price. One that most people wouldn't even believe unless they saw the receipt. That 1974 Kennedy half-dollar proof sold for an absolutely mind-blowing $84,000. Yes, $84,000. From a 50-cent piece made for collectors in 1974. That's not luck. That's knowledge. That's knowing what you have, or what you might have, and here's where it gets personal. Because you might already own this coin. Maybe it's tucked away in an old box of proof sets. Maybe you inherited it. Maybe you picked it up years ago at a garage sale or flea market and completely forgot about it. But if it's still in that original US Mint case, untouched, and in visually flawless condition, you could be sitting on a goldmine. So what should you do? First, go find your 1974 US Mint proof sets. Open them carefully. Take a close look at the Kennedy half-dollar. Is it sharp? Deeply mirrored? Frosted in all the right places? Does it look untouched by time? If so, you may want to send it to a reputable grading company like PCGS or NGC. Because they are the ones who can officially grade it and tell you if you're holding a PR70 Deep Cameo. The ultimate collector's dream. It's not just about owning a coin. It's about knowing the hidden value behind it. While others are ignoring these proof sets or selling them off for pennies, you now know the secret that could turn a 50-cent piece into a small fortune. $2,700. $84,000. That's the actual price range collectors have paid for this one coin. So what are you waiting for? Check your coins. Check your sets. Because that piece of American history sitting in your closet might just be the key to unlocking thousands of dollars. And it's been waiting there since 1974. Top 5. There's a coin out there right now that most people completely overlook. It's quiet. It's common. It looks like every other half-dollar. But what if I told you that inside one of those old US Mint proof sets from 1977, there could be a coin worth more than a brand new car? Maybe more than your mortgage. Maybe even more than your entire savings account. Sounds crazy, right? But it's real. And people are cashing in. We're talking about the 1977 Kennedy half-dollar, the proof version. The one that never touched a pocket, never got dropped on the floor, never even left its plastic case. This coin was made for collectors, not for spending. It was struck with extra care at the San Francisco Mint using highly polished dies and special planchets, giving it that deep mirror shine and crisp, frosted details that make it look like it's glowing under the right light. Now, here's the part that separates the lucky few from everyone else. Not every 1977 proof coin is valuable. Most of them are worth just a few bucks. But a tiny number, a very rare handful, were preserved in absolute perfection. No scratches. No haze. No flaws at all. These coins, when sent to professional grading companies, received the highest grade possible, PR70 Deep Cameo. And that's the grade that turns a simple 50-cent coin into something worth thousands. Even tens of thousands of dollars. The truth is, most people have no idea this kind of value even exists. They think coin collecting is just for hobbyists, just for fun. But collectors who know what to look for are paying serious money to complete their collections with the finest examples. And when a 1977 Kennedy half-dollar shows up in that perfect condition, sealed tight in its original proof set, it becomes more than a collectible. It becomes a prize. A trophy. A rare piece of American history that's ready to explode in value. So let's talk about the numbers. Because this is where things get really exciting. Point 1. Lucky collector, who had a 1977 Kennedy half-dollar proof coin graded at the top level, sold it for $2,700. That's already an amazing return for a coin that originally came in a set worth less than $10. But that's just the beginning. Another coin, same year, same type, but kept in flawless condition and certified as PR70 Deep Cameo, made headlines when it was auctioned off for a mind-blowing $79,000. Yes, 79,000 actual US dollars. For a 50-cent piece that's been sitting inside a proof set since 1977. Just imagine it. You might already own that coin and not even know it. It could be in your drawer, in your safe, in a box in your attic. Maybe your parents or grandparents left it behind. Maybe you bought it at a flea market and forgot about it. Or maybe you have a collection sitting in a closet, collecting dust, with a treasure hiding in plain sight. If you have the 1977 proof set from the US Mint, it's time to take a closer look. Open it carefully. Inspect the Kennedy half dollar. Look for that deep mirror surface. Look for the frost. Look for perfection. If it looks flawless, you need to send it to a top grading service like PCGS or NGC and find out what you really have. Because this isn't about luck, it's about knowing what to look for. The people cashing in on these coins aren't guessing. They're paying attention. They're doing their homework. And now, so are you. Think about what you could do with $79,000. Pay off debt. Buy a car. Put a down payment on a home. Go on a dream vacation. All from a coin that most people ignore. So don't ignore it. Don't assume your coin is worthless just because it's old or because it's just a half dollar. The 1977 Kennedy half dollar from the US Mint proof set is one of the most surprising hidden gems in American numismatics. And your chance to cash in might be sitting just a few steps away. $2,700. $79,000. That's the proven value range for the rarest, highest graded versions of this coin, and the next one could be in your hands right now.